everybody, Hollywood Joe here again. Hope you guys had a great Christmas and hope you guys have a great New Year coming up. I just wanted to talk to you guys about some rumors I've heard over the last year and a half and thoughts on a certain matter. As you know, it was about a year and a half ago, maybe a year now, when Brock Lesnar lost the UFC heavyweight title to Cain Velasquez, and at the end of that match, The Undertaker kind of confronted Brock Lesnar. Undertaker was sitting in the audience in the front row and had some words with Lesnar, and ever since then the rumor mill has been going crazy about Brock going to WWE, Brock wrestling one more match. You know, Dana White disputes those rumors and says no, never gonna happen, and things of that nature. Here's the thing. Brock Lesnar's fighting on UFC 141, and a part of me, there's two sides to me. One side says, I hope he wins. I hope he beats the crap out of Alistair Overeem and shut him up, because Overeem has been talking a lot of trash, and for whatever reason, and I don't know, I just think he needs to have his, get his mouth wired shut for a while. On the other hand, as much as I love Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar is my favorite UFC fighter for the reason of him being in WWE, I think he proved everybody that certain guys, certain pro wrestlers are legitimately tough, and he's impressed a lot of people. Part of me, this is the other part of me, I hope he loses, and I'll tell you why. Because Alistair Overeem says he wants to send Brock Lesnar back to the WWE, and maybe a bad enough loss would get that to happen, but he'd have to breach his contract with UFC and all this other stuff. But here's the thing, it shouldn't even come to that. People have linked Brock Lesnar to being the Undertaker's opponent at WrestleMania 28 and WrestleMania 27 last year, multiple times. But here's the thing, and this is why I get a little frustrated with Dana White. Dana White wants to make money, right? Vince McMahon wants to make money, right? Well, why not work something out? They're both very good friends. I don't get it. Here's the thing. Brock wrestled at WrestleMania 28 in Miami, Florida, in front of 85,000 people. Just think the business that would do, not just for the WWE, but for the UFC as well, because more people might become aware of each product. Because mixed martial arts fans who like Lesnar are going to tune in to watch and see what he does, and vice versa. WWE fans are going to see, oh my God, this big MMA superstar coming in and destroying everybody. They're going to want to watch MMA. It makes perfect sense. I mean, and the thing that bothers me is these UFC guys only fight 3 to 4 times a year. So what harm is in it? And having one more match, at WrestleMania 28 for Brock Lesnar. Because I will tell you this right now, his last match in the WWE was at WrestleMania 20 at Madison Square Garden versus Bill Goldberg with Stone Cold Steve Austin as a special guest referee. And I will say this, Brock does not want to be remembered for that in terms of his pro wrestling career. Because in that match was the chance, you can't wrestle, and this match sucks, and more people were into Stone Cold being the referee than they were into the match. And so it's funny, because that was Brock's last match in WWE, and Bill Goldberg quit WWE a week later. So for Dana White not to let him, maybe get some gratification, to get some real closure, to give pro wrestling fans a lasting image, it's wrong. And I guarantee you that eats Brock up. He may never speak about it. He may never say anything about it. But if people were chanting this match sucks and you can't wrestle in my last match, I'd be furious. I would be absolutely furious and upset. And I'll tell you right now, Brock Lesnar needs to have one more WWE match. You know, put him up against John Cena. Well, actually, no, that won't work because John Cena's fighting The Rock, but you know what I mean. Put him up against Triple H, The Undertaker, you know, CM Punk, The Big Show, Mark Henry, anybody. Anybody worthwhile. I mean, the guy, you know, if you really think about it, Dana White wouldn't have Brock Lesnar if it wasn't for Vince McMahon and WWE making him a huge name and a huge star. So if you really think about it, Dana White owes that to Vince McMahon. And, you know, a lot of people think I'm absurd, a lot of people think I'm crazy to suggest that an MMA star wrestle in the WWE. But guess what? Many MMA stars have done pro wrestling matches. I can name 3 of them off the top of my head. 3 of the biggest of all time that have been involved in pro wrestling. Ken Shamrock, Dan Severn, both wrestled in WWE. Got huge pushes in 1997 and 1998. Tito Ortiz refereed a TNA heavyweight title match back in probably like it was 05 or 06. Ken Shamrock was the NWA heavyweight champion at one point. The new the TNA NWA heavyweight champion. So, you know, what is the harm? Granted, they did all this when they weren't under UFC contract, but just think of the money. The money UFC and WWE would both make. You know, WWE would make it instantly, UFC would probably make it long term. But Brock Lesnar deserves one more match. So, you know, I'm asking for MMA fans, WWE fans, post your comments below, send Dana White an email, tell him that Brock Lesnar deserves one more match in the WWE, and it needs to be at WrestleMania 28.